have enough like knowledge and like maturity to like know when you need to rest, because that's going to give you the best outcome of your hard work. Because if you're just working yourself to death, then it's like you're gonna die.
Welcome to episode 5 of Grit and Grace. I'm here with a good friend and homie, Erin Bailey, striker for BYU women's soccer team. So welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to the podcast.
Glad to be here.
Amen. So just to start, if you can just like kind of give like an intro of who you are, where you're from, just kind of your upbringing, that kind of thing.
Okay. I'm from Layton, Utah. So it's like an hour north of Provo, 30 minutes south, north of Salt Lake. And I grew up there my whole life. I love
Utah
it.
native.
Yes.
Utah girl.
native.
Utah Valley girl.
Yeah, no, not a Utah Valley girl. Utah Valley is different than everywhere else.
So does that not count? Layton is not Utah Valley.
Oh no, not at all. Huh. Utah Valley is like south of Salt
Lake.
Lake.
Is that accent like Utah Valley girl? Is that an actual real thing? Like actually?
No, like for sure. Like I feel like I'm like always like for what? Like that's like how I talk sometimes, and I'm like, ugh.
Because I feel like sometimes some of the things you say is like a little bit Valley.
Oh,
just
no,
like,
for sure. And I would
dip
say,
into that well.
No, like for sure. Like I would just say it's like all of Utah, but like, or like more, I don't know, maybe like more of like a, like, I don't know. Like I don't want to say like influencer, but like just like a talk to yourself in the camera. But no, so it's definitely not Utah County.
Okay.
I like to just make sure those are separate.
Just make sure that's clear.
Because it's different, yeah. But I grew up in Layton, and I just played soccer my whole life. That's basically all I did growing up. I have 3 older brothers, so I'd always just like hang out with them, like just do stuff with them. I don't know. Just like soccer was like the main focus. I didn't really like have a lot of friends in high school. Like I would just grind soccer as like I just would rather not do all of the like high school stuff, and so I just kind of like just focused on soccer.
That's actually like why I like wanted you to come on the podcast, because like I mean you could like bring anyone on a podcast like from like a BYU team or a Div 1 team or a professional team, and like but I kind of like know you from behind the scenes. I feel like because I got to know you of like, and I think I was more intrigued not based off of like your success on the BYU team and like or your presence on social media. I was more impressed with like behind the scenes and like the work that you always put in like behind. And that's kind of what I wanted to dive into, like start like right away is like your attitude and your work ethic behind what no one sees. Yeah. And so like you said, like you had no friends really in high school. Like at what age do you think that kind of clicked where you were like, oh, like I'm a little bit different. Yeah. Like I'm a little bit, you know?
I think in junior high, I was always trying to like find my friends, but I felt like I never really like fit in with anyone. I had like a good few core friends that I would like hang out with, but like not really like any more than like those 3 people that I'd hang out with in middle school. And so I feel like that's when I kind of knew was like middle school was like I don't really align with any of these people. Like not like saying like that I was like thinking I was better than any of them. It was actually really like sad a lot of the time because I was like, dang, like this is kind of lonely. But like I just knew like I just like focused on the relationships that I did want to grow. And so I would spend a lot of time with my family, with my brothers, with my parents, and then like those close friends. And then just like I don't know. Like, I just knew that it wasn't worth my time. I didn't really care to hang out or do all of those, like, crazy things because it just didn't feel like I was, like, I don't know. It always was just a waste of time. I was like, this doesn't really fit with what I want to do.
What you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so when did you figure out what you wanted to do? Like, when did you know that you wanted to be, like, an amazing soccer player?
Thanks.
You know what I mean? Because there's like a line, right? There's like good, and then there's great, and then amazing. And I feel like there's like steps, and we were kind of talking about it off the podcast about like how soccer there is like kind of steps. But when did you know that, okay, soccer is my thing?
So I knew from like a very young age that I loved soccer. So it's like I would grow up watching Barcelona. Like always was wearing like a Messi jersey or like whatever.
Yeah.
I always loved soccer, but I think there was a point where I didn't know if I was good enough. I didn't think I was good enough. I remember going to a BYU soccer game, a women's soccer game, when I was like 8.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I was comparing myself as an 8-year-old to these women that were playing soccer. And I was like, I'm nowhere close to these girls. And I kind of had like an all or nothing mindset. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to play here. I know I'm not going to want to come to BYU and be a regular student. Like, I don't want to be a regular student.
Yeah.
Like, what? But I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to play here. Like, dang it. Like, that sucks. But, like, I just kept going to soccer and, like, doing whatever and, like, just kind of pushed it away. Like, I didn't have that, like, goal. I was just like, oh, if I can play college soccer, I guess I can. And then I get to, like, so I was always just, like, on the best team that I could have been on in the state. And, like, as I was, like, getting to, like, 13, 14, I was, like, falling behind in, like, my team because, like, everyone else. So there was an age change. So it used to be by grade, by school year, and then it changed to by birth year, so like an 03. And so I was like one of the youngest. And then I was also like a really late grower, so I was tiny. And so it was like this double whammy. Like everyone hit puberty, and then there was the age change. So now I'm with like the year older than me. Yeah. And so I was
and
like,
at this age, it's like 1 year is a huge
massive
difference.
So I'm like, okay, this sucks. But
yeah.
I was on this team, and it's like I wasn't fighting for like a starting spot. I was fighting to travel.
Just travel.
Like I got the pity travels, like where they're
but
like.
But to explain what that means, like no one, like a lot of people will be watching this and have no idea what soccer is, like travel teams or like, because there's a lot to it.
There's like this team called, well, there's like a million different leagues, and it's like it changes every year. So like now that I've been removed from club for a few years, it's like I don't know what's going on now.
Yeah.
But when I was there, it was ECNL was like the only one. So ECNL, it's like Elite Clubs National League. Like they love to just like make these crazy like things to make you feel cool. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
But so that's what it was, and it was like if you're not on ECNL, it's like you should quit soccer. Like if they were on
so cutthroat.
Yes, like for that like time period, it was like when you were in that environment in the ECNL, it's like if you're not on this team, like you suck. It's like they like indoctrinated you that like you have to be on ECNL or you're not going to play college. And like that's how it felt. And so it was, so we would travel like every other weekend to go play these teams like in just the region. So like Boise, like Phoenix, all of these close-ish areas. And so every time we traveled, they'd like put out a travel roster of like, so there's 22 girls on the team and then like 18 travel or something. And so yeah, these trips I would never go. I got like the one pity travel. Yeah, and I was this 13-year-old girl that was like, I felt so
full of emotion. You're
so
just
sad, so left out, because soccer was my life. It's all I wanted. All I wanted to do, to be with my friends. Yeah. Like I literally remember like I was feeling so sad that like I texted like this like I don't remember what it's called. It's like this like Utah helpline or whatever.
Oh my.
Yeah, like because I was so sad and I was like I don't know 13? What to do. Yeah, and it wasn't like suicidal, but like it was like I just need help. Like I am so sad that I can't even go, and I feel like people didn't realize like the toll it took. But I didn't want to like talk to my parents or whatever because it's like I wanted to be grateful that I was on this team, whatever, and like I don't know. So I was just like really really sad and like but anyway, so I work really, really hard. So that's kind of when it switched. I was like, I'm tired of this. This is stupid. Like, I'm never going to not travel again. And so, obviously, like, down the road. Because it's like, I couldn't just be like, okay, now I'm going to travel. Yeah, you can't just, like, do that in one day. But so I just decided to work super, super hard. So every single practice, it was my goal to outwork everyone, outplay everyone every single time. So this was kind of like a start of like my redemption arc. And so I just like grind every single time. I do improve a lot because I also grow a lot. So
when does that start? So 13, you're still smaller.
Yeah.
And
so
then
like
when do you
probably
think you
getting
started
into
to
14, getting into 14. I don't know. I could have these dates all wrong, but it's like around this
no,
area.
You're good. Yeah.
So yeah. So I'm just working so hard. And then my coach was like, hey, like, if you, like, I see you're working so hard, like, you're doing awesome. Like, if you keep working, like, you'll have a spot on the team next year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, awesome. Like, cool. Like, that was actually great, like, motivation. I love positive reinforcement, motivation. And so I was working even more hard. And I was like, this is my team. I'm not going anywhere else, whatever. And so I just keep working really hard. And while I was small, I learned how to like be more technical with the ball, that I can't just rely on my body. Whereas other girls like were just like massive and fast, so they could just kick a ball and run and then beat everyone.
Just,
or like body someone. I couldn't do that. And so that really helped me a lot, even though it like sucked in the moment. And so anyway, so then like 14, like I think I was in 8th grade or maybe 9th grade, I don't know. I try out and they're like, hey, so we're actually going to have you go on this other team that's like one lower. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And so then I was going to go to that team. And that team was in Logan. So that's an hour north of north of Layton. So I would have drove an hour every day for practice to be on this team. That wasn't even like that good. But I would have done it because I was loyal to the club and to the team. And so I was like, bet. Like, okay, so I go to tryouts the first day. And he's like, yeah, you're on the team. Because I'd guest played for this team before, and I played for them. And I was like, bet, like, we're
guest
set.
Played?
Yeah, like, I would, like, go.
Is it all, like,
Sorry. I forget that there's, like, a whole different soccer
vernacular.
No, it really is.
Yeah.
So, like, they would just, like, have me play for them. Because it was, like, a different.
Kind of bring you on.
Yeah, it was, like, a different league.
For, like, tournaments and
technically, yeah. So they could, like, put you on the roster for a few games or whatever. And so... yeah, so I knew that team, whatever. And the first day he was like, yep, you're on the team. Awesome. You don't need to come to the second day of tryouts.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, perfect. And then that day he texts my mom of the next day, and he was like, actually, we only want Cache Valley girls on the team. So, like, people who are close. So you can go play for this other team. And so this other team was the team below that one.
You're just like...
but it was the...
And this is after you've grown and, like, felt like you've developed. And still, like...
Yes. And so this was like the team under that one, but it was at the same league. So it was at the same level. They were both P1. So, but they just got promoted to P1 because I guest played and scored a lot of their goals. So I guest played for that team as well. And then they got a new coach, and this coach had never coached 11v11. So, like, he'd only coached younger girls that hadn't even played full field. So I was like, bro, I'm not
still all
going
these
to this
words
team.
full field, 11 on 11. It's like,
yeah, sorry, like, just like
yeah, no,
whatever.
I'm catching it though.
And so he was like, I was like, no, like this. Okay. This woke me up. I was like, this is terrible. But I did get screwed over because this was the week of tryouts, and this was like Thursday. So there was no other tryouts like available except for one. There was one day.
Yeah.
And I went to this team that my friend was going to try out for, and it was Wasatch. And I was like, like, they're not good. Like, they were not good.
Wait, so you went, there was the higher one, they cut you down to this one.
And then cut me
too
down
far,
one more.
then they cut you down to another one.
And then I said, I'm not going to that team.
Then you didn't want to go to that team, so you went to another one?
So I went to another club. So it's like a whole nother team, like a different name, different club.
And the one that you were loyal to, you left that one.
Yeah, I left that one because I was like, hey, you guys screwed me over 3 times. Like, sorry.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, so I go on this club that, like, the team was not that good at that time. And I was like, oh, this is awful. Like, like, I was so, like, embarrassed, like, to say that I was on this team because I had been told my whole life growing up that you need to be on this other team to be good.
Yeah.
And so, like, when I told people I was on Wasatch, I was like, yeah, like, no, but, like, I was just on that team, though. I would literally say that.
You would, like, literally
because, because I was like, I'm good. Like, guys, no.
Like, I'm actually good, I promise.
Yeah, like, it just, anyway.
Oh, I know how that feels. Yeah,
and
this is
so
interesting.
It was literally, like, and the coach for the new team, Wasatch, watched me play, like, for 10 minutes. He pulls me aside. We want you. Like, please come to our team.
Yeah.
Like, you have a spot right now. Like, we want you, like, let me know. And I was like, okay, like, I don't know. Because, like, my mom made me go to this trial. I didn't even want to go. She made me go the day of. Like, she got the text by the coach. And that day, he was like, okay, yeah, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
So then I went and I was like, I don't know. Like, I just want to make it back to that other team. I remember that day I told the coach, I just want to make it back to that other team, the original ECNL team.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, we'll get you there. Like, but we'll develop you this year. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then so I go and play for this team, Wasatch, and it was literally the best experience of my whole life. Like, this coach, like, mentored me and, like, developed me so much as a player. He knew what I needed exactly. Like, I have a lot of, like, anxiety in general, and sometimes it manifests itself in soccer. Like, usually it doesn't, like, which is so nice and such a blessing, but sometimes it does. And, like, I remember I did track in sophomore year, and I had a meet and then a game. And so at the meet, I was running the 100, and I false started, and I got disqualified from the race. And so I had to rush to my game. I was sobbing the whole way there for 40 minutes. It was a 40-minute drive, and my mom couldn't calm me down, and I was just, like, having an anxiety attack. Like, I couldn't get out of my head. He, like, dealt with me perfectly. He was like, Erin, come here. Like, don't try to warm up right now. Like, whatever. He was like, he gives me his iPad. Write down 3 things that you're good at, whatever, da-da-da. Like, whatever. I don't remember exactly what he did, but it was exactly what I needed at that time. Locked in. I think I scored, like, 3 goals that game, and it was, like, 3-2. So it was, like, it wasn't, like, an easy game. Like, I just was, like, so... Like, it was such a turnaround, and I was so just blessed to have him in my development and my process. So I ended up playing for them for, like, 3 years. And so, because once the next year, the ECNL team was like, we want you back. Like, come back. We've seen you, like, do so well. And I was like, no, I'm not coming back. Like, you guys, like, you don't care about me, like, as a player. So it's like, I want someone who cares about me as a player, and that's going to develop me as a player, because that's going to get me where I want to go. And, this coach for Wasatch, like, literally was, like, an answer to my prayers, because I was just, like, crying all that. For, like, 2 weeks I would cry, because I was like, what is going on? Like, what is the reason for all of this? Why am I just, like, getting, like, it just felt so intentional. I was like, why am I getting screwed over again and again and again and again?
Meanwhile, you're, like, the hardest worker.
Yeah, and I'm like, I've been working so hard. I have the most passion out of anyone. Like, no one wants it as much as I do. And it's like, I just get screwed over again and again. And then, like, looking back, it's like, it was intentional. It was intentional to put me where I needed to be, that I never would have gone there unless I was forced there. And so it was exactly what I needed. And it turned out that coach is, like, what helped me get to BYU. He, like, really, really advocated for me, and, like, would talk to the BYU coaches, and, like, had a great relationship with the BYU coaches. And BYU is the only place I wanted to go.
Yeah.
And so he was like, we'll get you to BYU. And he just literally was, like, just so amazing, and, like, literally just was like,
that's so sick.
It was just amazing, and it's just such a cool story. And to this day, we're just still in touch, and, like, helps me when I need it, and, like, I'll help him, like, if he needs help with, like, coaching or, like, whatever, like, yeah.
So those are the 3 years at Wasatch, and then how old were you at that? This is, like, and then you're still playing high school soccer.
Yeah.
But high school soccer, is that even, like, that has, like, really no effect on anything?
No, it's just, like, a break for
3 months. Yeah, it's crazy, because you haven't even mentioned high school.
Oh, my gosh. High school is a whole nother story.
That's crazy. I would have never guessed. Like, I thought high school, you haven't said anything. I was
like,
what about
high school is a whole
So club
nother
is
story.
just.
Yeah, club is how you get to college.
And then high school is just, like, a fun. Like,
Except it wasn't really fun for me, but.
Well, why? What was high school like? So you had those 3 years of club, and then at the end of the 3 years, are you a senior in high school?
Yeah, I'm a senior in high school, and I hadn't committed yet. I didn't have any offers. Well, I had an offer from UVU and Weber State, but I didn't really want to go there. I only wanted to go to BYU.
Yeah.
So that I just switched to another team, because our team, the Wasatch team, kind of, like, dissolved a little bit, and it wasn't sure, and so I just went to another team, just, like, that was another ECNL team, just to get more exposure at this point. And so it was like, but I only ended up going for 3 months, because then I graduated early to go to BYU. So the week after,
you did?
Yeah, the week after I moved to the new club, Laroca, I was offered by BYU. And so
that's probably
so I was like, dang it, I would have just stayed with my coach, but it was good. I learned a lot in the 3 months I was there. So
wow. And so now you're at BYU. What year is this?
Junior year.
So you have one more year after this.
Yeah.
So going forward, like, that's so crazy. Like, when you're saying all that, like, I don't know. I, like, feel it on such a level, like, growing up, like, with me in my sports, and, like, being too small, being a year behind, getting, like, thrown around, and I'm just, like, working. Yeah, it's like it still is like part of who you are now.
Yeah.
And it's like huge in your character right now and what you do now, because it's like I always say like there's like 3 components. Maybe we've talked about this in the past, but it's like your dreams, your people, and then your revenge.
Yeah.
And I think like obviously probably you still feed into that revenge of 100%. Like of all those people that were like no. And so that's kind of your revenge. Do you feel like it still influences everything? Like 100%. Do you think about it consistently?
Yeah.
So
because
sick.
I feel like even if I don't think about like the actual coaches and the actual event of getting cut, I think about how I responded and like being able to play with like a chip on your shoulder every day of my life. Yeah. And so I still feel like there's some of that doubt and those people who don't believe in me, like always in every aspect of my life. And so I always am just like thinking like I'll prove them wrong, you know? I just always have that. Every single game I play with tape around my wrist, and I always write on it. I write. So also I love Tottenham, like Tottenham Hotspur, like the Premier League club.
Yeah.
So lit, love them. And so like what they say is like, come on you Spurs, and it's like Coys. And then I also one day was just like, I think I was like meeting with my therapist or something, or I just came up with it. I don't know, but it like became like our thing kind of. Like he was like, play with a chip on your shoulder, and I was like, chip on your. Oh, I was in bed. I remember I was falling asleep. I was visualizing. I was like thinking about soccer, and then I was like, chip on your shoulder. Chip on your Coys. Coys, let's go. That's so lit.
No
so now
way.
every single time I write on Coys.
That's so sick.
Because I love the Spurs, and then also chip on your shoulder, because like in this like within Tottenham there's so much of inspirational stories that I love. And so it's like even just like day to day throughout the season. It's like, for example, like Brennan Johnson, like a few games ago, like a month or 2 ago, like he was not playing in great form. He was getting so much social media hate. He deactivated his Instagram. And then after that, he scored 6 goals in 6 games. Like, just because he was just, like, locked in. And he was like, screw you guys. Like, I'm literally, like, you guys need to stop hating on me. Like, stop sleeping on me, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's, like, it's just so cool to, like, just see, like, all these things. And I just feel like Tottenham as a club is kind of just, like a chip on your shoulder. Like, it's, like, prove everyone wrong, because it's, like, you're going to get hate no matter what, you know? So, yeah, I write that on my wrist every single game.
Coys?
And it's, so it always just, like, so it's just, like, I just want to prove people wrong, you know? And so
that's the revenge aspect.
Yeah.
And so let's dive into, like, your people. Like, who are your people? Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously your family. Like, we'll go through your people. Like, who's your people?
My mom is, like, my biggest supporter ever in the whole world. Like, I literally don't know where I'd be without her. I've been going through a few rough weeks, and my mom will text me, like, all day, every day, like, motivational quotes, like, scriptures she found, like, everything she loves and wants to bring me a little bit of joy and a little bit of motivation, she'll just send it my way. And I'm just, like, so grateful for her. And so, like, last week, like, I had a hard, like, night, and my mom just drove down, and, like, right away she drove an hour and stayed the night with me, like, just to be there for me, you know? And she dropped everything and came, and it just, like, shows the type of person she is, and it shows the type of support I've always had. And it's like, I just am so grateful, and I would not be the person I am today without her. She's, like, the most positive, uplifting, like, just amazing woman, and I'm just, like, so grateful for her. And so she's definitely probably my number one. Just, we're super close, and it's just so cool. And just, like, my whole family too, like, my brothers are always just a big support too. They've been texting me a lot too, just because they know I've been struggling too. And so it's just, like, so nice to just know I have this, like, support system around me, like, always, no matter what. Like, they're always there for me, and it just, like, helps. And they come to every game. Everyone is always at my game. My parents love to travel to come to watch my games, and it just means so much. Like, when we were playing in the Big 12 tournament, like, a week or 2 ago, I was, like, really sad because I didn't think they were coming. And so I was like, oh, like, dang it, like, they're not here. Like, because they're like, we don't need to go.
Are you, like, the type to, like, look up in the stands?
Yeah,
like,
I was like, I literally was, like, talking to my, it's like in, like, like, the plays, like, in the, like, elementary school, in the movies where they're like,
Yeah.
like look, and then they don't see him. And
try to like look up the
yeah, and they're like, dang it. But and then it turns out they were there the whole time.
Yeah. So you didn't find out till after the game?
No, so I was talking to my teammates and I was like, I was making a joke the whole warm up because I was actually really sad they weren't coming.
Yeah.
I was actually really sad. And I was like, oh, it'd be so crazy if they just like surprised me and they showed up. Like that would be so crazy. Like just like making funny jokes because it's like they're not going to surprise me. Like they would have just told me, you know? And so like because I did that at Texas Tech and they didn't come because it's like Lubbock is like, how do you get there? Like they're like, we'll just watch it on TV.
Yeah.
We'll sit this one out. And I was like, valid. But yeah, I made that joke all like that trip. I was like, oh, it'd be so crazy if they just showed up at my hotel right now. Like whatever. And
I feel like you cope through dark with jokes.
I know 100%. Like people are always like, are you okay? I'm like, not really, honestly, but you know, like I just like to laugh about it. So. But anyway, yeah, I look up and they're there, and I was like, oh,
it's relief.
Like I literally love them so much, and like just seeing them like literally just helped calm me down and just like play so well. So that's definitely one of them. And then like my team, I have like a core group of girls that
who name them, drop name.
Oh, name drop them. Okay. Ellie Walbrook, Sierra, Pennock, Allie Fryer. I would say those are like we're like
your three people.
Yeah, we like kind of are all the same age. We kind of like grew up in the past like 3 years together. And they're just like always there for me too. And it's just like so amazing. Like I know that they always have my back, and so it's just it's so cool like to be able to have come here to BYU and like no matter what happens with soccer, school, whatever, it's like I've met these like girls that like I didn't know before, and they literally like I can't imagine life without them now. And so it's just so cool. And like Ellie Walbrook, like I just literally love her so much, and I look up to her in so many different ways. Like she is such a good leader. People just like look to her to like for what to do, and like she tore ACL like almost.
I remember,
like and it was like traumatic for me. And I'm like, I know you're going through it, but like this is hard for me too because it's like, how are we like you're my best friend, and like on the field we would just like play so well together. And I'm like, now you're gonna be here an extra year and I'm gonna be gone, and like, oh, it's just so hard. But like seeing the way that she like comforted me and like battled through it, and like it's just inspirational. Like it is so amazing, like the attitude that she shows up with every single day. She works harder than anyone else, and like she's like, okay, I'm gonna be sad about it for 2 days, and then I'm not gonna be sad about it again because I'm gonna have the best recovery anyone's ever seen. Like I'm gonna take rehab like the best.
She's gonna love hearing this.
Yeah, it's like it's gonna be the best rehab anyone's ever seen. And I'm like, that's so cool. Like it's just so cool to see like her determination and her discipline of just like knowing she's like gonna come back better and be strong, and like her attitude and her just like whole perseverance throughout this whole process has just been so cool and so inspirational to see.
Sick.
Yeah, and it's just like really like helped me to have a better mindset on like my own trials and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
So those are your people.
Yeah.
Now your dreams.
Oh, okay. Slay.
Doesn't have to do anything with soccer. If it is, great. Like, well, why do you do what you do? What's your dreams?
Yeah. I feel like my dreams are like a lot of them are soccer related.
Yeah.
Like I want to play pro. I don't know what that's gonna look like yet. I don't know if I think it'd be really fun to go abroad. Like
England?
Yeah, England would be lit. But like honestly, like I don't know if that's what I want.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't like the bad weather.
No, I don't. I'm like
we talked about this. It's gnarly out there.
No, I know, but it's like I don't know. I think it'd be really cool for like a year or two. You know, just like.
Your depression, but still play. That's dope.
Like I'll just get like lots of like those like fake lights, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Even though they do nothing.
No.
Actually, red light has helped me a little bit. So if I could find like a red light place, like.
A little red light therapy.
Yeah.
For a year in England.
Yeah.
It's dope.
But,
I love it there.
Yeah, or like just play pro here. I would love that. But like.
Was it Real Salt Lake?
The Royals.
The Royals.
Yeah, it'd be so fun. I trained with them like this last summer, and it was amazing. It was so fun, and I'm like, I always wanted to go somewhere to play, but like after training with them, I was like, I would love to play for this program.
When you see girls like that, like when you're training with the Royals, do you like Because I know myself, but do you look at them and you're like, I'm like with you?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel that?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, I do.
Like, you're not like, oh my gosh, like the way you.
Well, there's okay, yes, that's how I feel for everyone, except for one girl that I literally like fangirl. Like, I think she's so good.
Go on, name drop her.
Allie Setnor. Like, I literally like am like I fangirl against like about her. Like, she's so good. Just like the way she carries herself. Like, I'm like I literally I think she's so cool.
It's like, a fangirl.
It's like literally like she was like, this is so funny, honestly. Like, I don't fangirl to anyone. Like, I literally am like usually just
glazing
like, what's
her.
up? No, I will glaze her. She's so good.
Yeah.
Like, I was playing with her and I was like, I can't believe I'm gonna share the field with her.
Like, really?
Yeah, and then like.
So do you think when you see her, you're like, oh yeah, she steps above me?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think she's way more like way better in a lot of areas.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know. Like, yeah. I think like definitely way above. But like, I think that it's like not something I could I like, I don't know. Yeah, I definitely think she's above, but like, I want to try to be like her, you know?
Yeah.
But like, sick. Yeah, like we were training together and we were scrimmaging and we were on the same team and I assisted her and I was like, that's the highlight of this week was getting to assist her. And then I was like, saw she had like an Oura ring and I was like, oh my gosh, you have an Oura ring? Like, I want one. And she's like, you should get one. so she brought the sizing kit for me the next day and so I bought one.
You're just like,
no, but like I actually wanted one for a long time. Yeah. But like that was like that did push me to get it.
Up to it. So. That's sick. That's super cool. Like I think like dreams, people, revenge, that's all kind of like collaborates into like a pyramid. And once you kind of like foundation of period, once you kind of have that together, you kind of start to do things that not a lot of people do. Like going forward, like we've kind of, I feel like I've asked you this too, but like I feel like as you get like really good at something, improvement looks a lot different than like when you're younger. Yeah. Like when you're younger and you're improving, there's like leaps and bounds that you have to make. And then once you get to a certain level where you're really good, there's like small things. So like when you do like look at yourself now and then you look at like people that are higher levels than you. Yeah. What are like let's first go practical skills that you need to learn. And then what are some of the non-practical things that you need to work on? Yeah. So first the practical things. Like what are some practical things that you know that you're like, I need this and I need to do this.
Like what do you mean like practical like
practical
soccer?
Like skill wise. Yeah.
Skill
like practical physical things. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Like what?
I want to get better at heading it. Like I've literally never had the ball. Like I've scored my first. Does it
hurt?
No, it does hurt.
The one game I was at the game in like the hail. Yeah. And me and my friend are like, and he's like, she just broke her head. I don't know what that means, but she just popped a vein in her forehead.
No, yeah, it's terrible. Like I scored a header goal against Arizona this year, and it was because the keeper like batted it out, and so it's just like a little lofty ball, and I just went, ugh. And so I was like, everyone was like, bro, that's the first time, not even a first goal, that's the first time I've seen you head the ball. And I'm like, yeah, like, so yeah, that's something I want to work on. I want to work on
what do you do to work, like,
I don't know, just like have someone just like cross it. Yeah, I don't know.
Is it like different parts of your head?
I don't know. I guess I just need to like talk to girls on my team that are good. Like Lucy Kessler, like I don't know how she does it. She plays like 6, which is like the midfield, like the defensive midfield. And the goal kicks off of the other keeper's goal kicks where they just punt it. They have the ball in their hands, they just throw it up and they kick it as far as they can. She just is sitting behind half field and she just finds the ball, like tracks it somehow and just goes. And I'm like, how do you do that?
Ouch.
I think I could never do that in a million years. Like if
I
practice.
On my head. I can feel it.
Yeah, I know. And so, yeah, I guess I just need to go ask her for tips. But
so
or Allie Fryer. Allie's like cracked at heading too. But yeah, that's like one thing that's like really big. But like I don't know how important it is. Yeah. Like it obviously is really important to be able to win the ball, but it's like at the same time, it's like I've made it this far. Yeah. But I definitely need to work on it. So but I wouldn't say that's like number one.
Okay, what are some
It's just the first thing I like thought of because it's like that's one I could probably make leaps and bounds on because I never did it. Yeah. But
So you gotta get that vert up.
Yeah.
Do you have a good vertical?
No.
Ronaldo vertical?
No, that's Ali. I feel like I'm like in the realm of heading, I'm more like Messi, where it's like few and far between. And
really.
Ali's definitely Ronaldo, where it's like half of her goals are like
Just
from
like,
headers, just like
yeah,
not half, probably like a fourth, but still,
Okay.
it's so lit. I would say just like I don't know, like okay, I don't know if this counts as like skills, but like decision making.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like just like being able to know when to pass, when to dribble, when to go, when to shoot,
Mm-hmm.
being more assertive with the ball is like, and then like having those skills to be able to do that, like play a perfect pass, whatever, because you can always just improve your technical abilities, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Yeah, and then another one that's like massive. This one's actually probably number one
Mm-hmm.
is like shielding the ball and like keeping the ball. So it's like they play it to me and I'm like I have a defender on my back and I keep the ball. So like they pass it to me and I'm trying to like hold it for a second so that I can pass it back.
So you can actually gain
Yeah,
control
I
of
feel like
it.
I just get kind of like
Flustered.
bodied, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I get flustered and then I just get bodied and then I just like lose the ball. And I'm like, eh. So that's probably my number one for sure. And just like I think how you improve that is just like being intentional with it in practice in games and then like I don't know, you can always do like the little drills where it's like 30 seconds, hold your partner off the ball, you know, and you just switch, but like
So what do you think of like people, if there's anyone that's like watching your guys' games and they're like, doesn't even look like they're that skilled, or it doesn't even look like, why does it look, because people that don't watch soccer can sometimes watch soccer and be like,
yeah,
they're just kicking a ball around.
yeah,
Like, what would you say to that, like actually being in it?
yeah. Is that it's really hard. It's really fast paced.
Yeah.
And it's like
It's exhausting. Soccer's
you run so much. So much. And like I just think it's really, really hard. It's so much easier when you see it from above.
Yeah.
But like being on the level, it's so hard to see where to go. I think also just like knowing where to be in the right spot at the right time.
Like there's
is,
a lot more
way
strategy
harder than
to
you
it.
think. Yeah.
And I feel like there's so much more strategy.
Oh,
like when you're
for sure.
like like you said, I think soccer is one of the sports that you can watch basketball and be like, I could never do what they're like. They're like jumping, like doing like football is like another one that you're like, a lot of people just don't even understand what's going on. But they're like, no way. But then you watch soccer and you're like, they're just like kicking. But that's
it's
like
a simple game, but it's
simple,
like
but
it's hard
also
to do.
It's very hard.
It's hard to play simple. Like that's the thing is it's like that's the hardest thing to do is to play simple. To make it look easy is hard.
Even getting sometimes shots on the net.
So hard. There'll be games where I just don't even get a shot, and it's so frustrating.
It's insane.
But it's like I'm in the right spot, I'm doing the right things, I just don't get the ball.
You just don't get the ball.
Yeah, and so it's hard, but it's good.
Yeah, no, that's sick. Okay, now things that you want to work on, like not skill wise.
Yeah.
Like what are some things that you're like, I need to like actually be better? Maybe outside of soccer, maybe that can
for
like
sure.
channel into that.
I think something that I've gotten a lot better at and like I continually like want to improve on, but I have gotten a lot better at is like letting go of what I can't control. Because it's like at BYU I've learned so much throughout that. Like I've gone to therapy like every week for the past like 3 years at this point.
Yeah.
And it's like it's not easy. Like it's like that's work. Like you're putting in that work like every single week. It's like you go and you're like this sucks like da da da, but it's like you learn like you're working there. Like that's just as important as going to practice for me. Is just like dealing with that like anxiety, that depression, that like fighting against yourself and fighting against your mind. And it's like so hard. And I think just like letting go of like what doesn't matter and what's not important and what I can't control has been something that has been so like important to me throughout this process. And it's brought me so much peace. And I just there's so much room for improvement, you know. It's like sometimes it's just like you're like, okay, vet, like I mastered this, like I'm so good, and then another like angle on something and it's another hard challenge and it's like it takes that mastery of the skills, like, but it's like, nope, you forgot this part of it, and it's like, oh, I don't know how to do this at all. And so then it's like a whole new set of challenges. And so I would just say like the mental aspect of like staying locked in, but like also learning when to let go. So it's like I gotta care enough, like I always say, like, I just need to, like, not care about soccer. And everyone's like, what?
You're literally the same person as me. And sorry,
Yeah.
keep going, yeah.
Like, people are like, what? Like, how do you
The less
not
you care, the better you do.
Yeah. And so people are like, you can't not care. And I was like, listen, like, I care probably 2,000 times more than you ever would. Like, not in like a demeaning way. Like, it
runs
sucks.
deep.
Yes,
for
like
me.
it sucks sometimes. Like, I'm like,
yeah.
I wish I didn't. But like, I literally like obsess over this, like nonstop. Like, you don't understand. And so me not caring is probably still caring more than you care by trying to care. And it's like, I'm not saying that it's a good or a bad thing. That's just how it is. And so it's like, when I say I need to not care and I need to let go, it's just letting go of everything I can't control. And it's just playing loose and having fun and just enjoying the moment. And I think
having more joy.
Yeah, having that joy and that gratitude. And the way that I find that joy is through the gratitude. Like, that's like been a key part of my life that has unlocked so much joy and peace, is just like being grateful. Because it's like, we are so blessed. Everyone is so blessed in so many ways, but it's like, we just sometimes don't see it because we love to focus on the things that aren't going right.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I was walking to class and I was like walking up these stairs because I like had to find a different parking spot like that I don't normally park. And I was walking up these stairs and it was just this beautiful morning, and it said this like new, like, it wasn't new, it was just new to me, this sign that's like, welcome to Brigham Young University. And I was like, I just like took a second. I was like I'm here. Like, I literally did it. Like, I literally did it and made it to my dream school. And I like to complain about it. I'm complaining about it. I am so grateful, like, that I'm here, and I'm so grateful that I get to go through these hard times, because it's helped me grow into the person that I am today. And I would be so different if I didn't have these challenges, and I'm so grateful for them. And it's just like, I'm getting a education, even though I love to complain. Like, I have a midterm I have to take today on humanities. It's like, I don't care. Like, sorry. Like, I do. Okay.
Oh.
I do care.
It's okay if you don't care. Holy, I hate school. Sorry.
No, but, like, I actually do love, like, art and humanities and culture and stuff, and it's so interesting. But I don't care about the stupid little intricacies of the test of, like, oh, this is, like, a Romanesque architecture. Why? Because it has this, like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. But I do love and I do appreciate. Like, I love learning. I love school. I really do.
You're really smart.
Oh, thank you. No, like.
No, you are, aren't you? Like, but you are. We've talked about this.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, no, that's definitely a gift that I have. Is I think I'm very gifted in school, but also it's a curse.
We're very similar, but that.
Yeah.
I mean, not that, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely a curse, because it's like, I think it kind of makes my mind crazy.
Do you feel
sometimes.
like you start to obsess about school too? Like everything that you do, or is it
I did when I was little, like high school.
And
then once I got to college, I was like, this is hard. Like, I'm just going to do my best.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I got a B+ in a class, and I was like, I suck.
No way.
And then my parents were like, did you try your best? Like, you're literally a student athlete, and you were literally the most depressed that you've ever been in your whole life, and you still got, like, probably, like, a 3.6, and you're upset about this at BYU? Are you serious? While being a student athlete, while being, like, very, very depressed, like, and you're upset? And I was like, they're easy classes. And my mom's like, stop. You tried your hardest. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I did try my hardest. So now that's kind of my mindset, is it's like, genuinely, like, give what you can, and then whatever the outcome is, then be happy with it, you know? Because it's like, you did everything you can. Like, you can't focus on outcomes. That's another thing I've learned at BYU, is like, focusing on outcomes, like, is the death of you. You can't control outcomes.
Yeah.
You can only control what you put in.
Yeah.
So it's like, even scoring a goal. Like, I want to score so bad. It's like, you can't control that. It's like, you can control having a good first touch. You can control getting your shot off. But it's like, no, sometimes you even can't control that. Yeah. Like, because you don't even get the opportunity. So it's like, whatever you're given, do the best with what you're given, and then be grateful.
So it's like the same principle of controlling what you can control.
Yeah. And not focusing on the outcomes. So
that's crazy. Well, how do you find joy in the process?
Yeah.
Because, like, we do, like, I think my theory is that when your why is so deep, the how and the what become irrelevant.
Yeah.
But sometimes the how and the what are just not fun.
Yeah.
And you just got to kind of, like, grit your teeth and do it. How do you personally find kind of joy in the gritting of the teeth, in the sowing, you know?
Yeah.
Not just the reaping.
That's those are good one-liners. Like, put those on a wall.
What can I say?
Yeah, literally put those on a wall. I'll make a graphic for that. For one of my classes.
Make sure you edit that one. Just kidding.
Yeah, it's like, honestly, like, I feel like gratitude. Like,
it's crazy.
I keep going back to that, but it's like, I think of like there's like this TikTok trend that's been going for the past like week or two, and it's like, it's a privilege to be able to get to choose to do this. Like, some people don't even have the privilege to have a dream. They just have to do what they can to survive. And so it's like, I just am grateful for every single moment, and I just like find things that I'm grateful for, like genuinely grateful for, like not like toxic positivity, because it's like that never works. Like, oh, I love being here. Nah, this kind of sucks, honestly. But it's like, wait, I'm here with my friends. Like, what can I do to help them? Or like, I'm grateful to be here with my friends making memories. So like, one of my favorites is like conditioning in the morning. Like, we wake up at 6:30, we have to go run our guts out, so we're gonna throw up, like whatever, and then we gotta go work camps the whole day of like dealing with little kids, like soccer, whatever, and everyone's like, this sucks, and I'm like, yeah, it kind of does suck, but like, we're making memories. Like, these are like our core memories. Like, these are so fun. And it's like, we get to grind together, and we're just like out here and just like getting to be healthy. Our bodies are healthy enough to run. That's a great, massive, grateful thing to be grateful for. And then it's like, we're with like our closest friends. We get to do this. We're getting free food all the time. We're getting paid to do this. Like, there's so many things that you like. I could go on and on. It's like, oh, we have these facilities to run at. Oh, we have the strength coach to make sure that we're going to be in shape for the season. Like, we're running so that it benefits us. And like, there's so many things that you choose to be genuinely grateful for, and that helps you to get through the hard times, because it's like, you got to acknowledge that it's hard and that it sucks, but it's like, yeah, you remember your why and why you're here, and then be grateful for what you do have, because it's like, everything, you can lose everything. Like, nothing's promised. Like, that's something I've learned this year. Nothing's promised.
Winning owes you nothing.
Yeah. I literally like got screwed over. Like, this year, these past few months have literally been like, hey guys, cut the cameras. Like, what's going on? Like, this isn't funny anymore. Like, this is not a funny prank. Like, it's gonna add a lot to my stand-up comedy routine. Like, it's actually crazy. Like, good bits for my stand-up comedy, but like, it's like, okay, I've got enough content. You know, like, we're good. Like, it's crazy what's like happened to me, and like, it's just helped me to learn that like, nothing's promised. Like, be grateful for every moment that you have, because nothing's promised, and you could lose everything like so fast. Like, for me, beginning of the year of like soccer in August, it's like, I'm like really sick, and I'm like, oh, this sucks, whatever. I go get tested for strep, for whatever. They do some blood work. I go home, fall asleep, wake up to a phone call from my trainer. Hey, Queen, so you have mono, so you'll be out for 21 days. See ya. I was like, what? So then I'm like, I'm out for like, I missed so many games just because I got mono. Making
out too much.
Like, that's so embarrassing. It's like, why am I getting like a junior high disease in college? My junior year of college.
But
that's
it's actually
so embarrassing.
relentless. It's horrible.
Oh my gosh, I thought I was dying.
It's horrible.
I genuinely thought I was dying. Like, I almost called the ER to come pick me up.
I've heard it's like absolutely one of the worst things to experience.
Yeah, I almost like my throat was so closed that I like almost started freaking out, that I like almost like called an ambulance. But like, I would wake up in the middle of the night choking on my spit, and I'd have to spit it out because I couldn't swallow it because it hurt so bad. Like, seriously, I'd be laying down and I'd be like falling asleep, and then I'd be like, and it hurts so bad. It hurts so bad that I go grab my spit cup, and then I try to fall back asleep. It was so sad.
It's tough.
But so that was awful. And then my first game back, get hit in the eyeball, bleed through my iris, and out again for like another 2 weeks. So it's like, I missed a ton of games, and then like the way back into the field, making my way back to the starting lineup, and even to on the field, was like brutal. Like, it was awful. Like, it took weeks. So it's like I missed a lot of games that I couldn't play, but I also missed a lot of games where I only played like 10 minutes at the end of the half because I'm like working my way back in, you know? And I didn't feel like myself because I'd been out for like 3 months.
And you put in so much work.
And I didn't, and it's not like I got a red shirt or anything. So it's like I missed all of those things, and I could dwell on all that I've missed, and I could just be really sad and upset about it, or I just have to be really intentional to be like, okay, well, what did I learn from this experience? And then also like, again, like, what am I grateful for now?
Yeah.
Because it's like, hey, at least I have all of these things. Yeah. Or it could be worse. Like, so many things could be worse, you know?
Yeah. No, that's
so,
cool.
I don't know. I've learned a lot through all of that, but it's like, guys, like, we're good. Mm-hmm. Like, no more, please.
It's crazy. It's like, I almost could get emotional with this, but like, yeah, it's crazy because like, you're a winner. And winning, when people think of winning, they sometimes think of like beating someone else. But winning is like just being the best.
Yeah.
In every field. That's crazy. She's just lip glossing. That's so
My lip is literally dry.
It's dope. I mean,
I'm talking so much that I'm like, it's literally dry.
I always have dry lips. But it's like, it's just this idea that like you're a winner. Winning though, like it just doesn't owe you anything. And you like every day it's like you have to earn winning. Yeah. And it doesn't owe you anything, but it means everything. And winning means your relationships. Winning means being the best in soccer. Winning means being the best in school. Winning just means, but it could wake you up one day with mono. Yeah. It could wake you up one day with this, getting cut from a team, this. But like in the present moment now, like how are you doing now? Mm-hmm. Like how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah, honestly. Good. I'm doing so good. It's just like every day I just feel better and better. Like just like I've really had time to like reflect on myself and like very cliche, but like I've been like meditating, I've been like diving into like my spirituality and like getting a closer relationship with God and all of these things, and like I'm trying to stay off of my phone more, like slowly, like I'm not trying to like be like, okay, no phone ever again, because then it's like I know myself, I'm just gonna go right back to it and then it'll be worse. I'll be like, okay, way more. So I'm just doing my best with that, but like I have all of these new goals for myself, and I just feel like a new sense of like hope, because I'm like, okay, like I'm making my bed in the morning again. I wasn't able to do that before. I'm being able to meditate for 5 minutes where I couldn't calm my mind down for a minute. It's like we're just like making our way back, and it's like it feels really good. And once I kind of start to like feel more comfortable in those areas, then it's like, okay, I have more things I want to work on. Good for you. I want to eat better. I want to do whatever. But it's like right now, I'm not going to even try. Like I'm going to stay with what I'm at. And then because like with myself, it's very like all or nothing sometimes. And so it's like, okay, like I'm going to eat clean. I'm going to start lifting every single day. I'm going to start, I'm never going to do this again. And it's like a whole like lifestyle change in one day. And like I try to do that and it lasts like 3 days, and it's like, this sucks. Yeah. But instead of like, for me, I've just learned that it's like, okay, like day by day, 1% better. And that's what works for me.
That's so cool. It's like the book that I gave you a while back, The Boy, the Fox, the Mole, or whatever. Yeah. But it talks about how, like, I think it's the fox, and he's, like, stressed out. And he's like, oh, my gosh, I have so much, like, ahead of me and all this. And I don't even know if it's the horse. I can't remember. The horse is like, yeah, you just have to do one step at a time. Yeah. Just, like, 1 foot at a time. Yeah. And that's kind of what you're talking about. Yeah. That's all you can do to get better. And especially, like, as we approach winter, I know winter's hard. Yeah. And it's dark, and it gets dark early, and it kind of affects your mind, and it affects everything. It's hard. It's a harder really season. Hard. Yeah. But that's amazing. You're amazing for being able to be like, I need to do this and this and this. Yeah. Taking care of yourself is hard.
And it's like, it's so easy to sit here and, like, say all of these things because it's like, I do not have anything together, like, 90% of the time, but it's like I feel like I have to create these like fundamental values to like go back to where it's like a choice to like get better every time. Like when you are going through life, like you can either get better or get worse. Like you can never just stay the same. And so it's like your decisions that you make every minute, every second, it's like, where is that leading you to? Like, is it leading you to where you want to be, or is it just holding you back from where you want to be? And so it's like, yeah, there's definitely hard moments, and like it does suck, and like I do struggle a lot, but it's like, what do you learn in those struggle moments, and like how do you learn from it, and what are you going to do next time? And it's like obviously not a fix all, like it's not like you get better step by step by step by step. It's definitely like just like up and down progress, but it's like, where's the overall like
the long term,
the trend of your graph, you know? And so yeah, and I feel like another thing that I really want to get better at is like just being in the present moment.
Oh yeah,
because it's like I'm never
we talked about this, the flow state.
Yes, the only time I feel like I get in the flow state is with soccer. And then also, like, sometimes when I'm doing homework, like, if I'm just, like, grinding. But then it's, like, no, that's, like, approaching, like, hyperfixation of, like, okay, wait, no, I know that's too much, you know? So it's, like, I don't know. But, like, yeah, just being in the present, because it's, like you said, it's, like, you have so many things to do. You have so many things you want to accomplish. And if you focus on the things you want to accomplish, it's, like, overwhelming. It's, like, you can't do anything about it right now. But what you can do, like, you can't do anything about, like, those goals directly right now, but what you can do is, like, take a step towards
literally what you're doing.
Yes, literally one step at a time. And if that looks different for you at one point than another, like, that's okay. Yeah. Like, sometimes it might just be getting out of bed and eating breakfast, and then if you have to go back to bed, you have to go back to bed. Like, that's a win at that time. But it's like, if that was me now, it'd be like, bro, like, you're being lazy, like, get up, like, you're fine right now, you know? And so it's like, a win for me would be like choosing to, I don't know, like, forcing myself to, like, hang out and be social, and then still going to bed early. Like, that's a win. Like, let's go.
Yeah, it's so sick.
You know? So it's just like, where other times it's like, I couldn't even imagine, like, going out, you know? So.
No, that's sick. At my company, we call it, like, stacking dubs.
Yeah.
Like, every day you want to stack a dub, and you want to stack another dub. And that's back to winning. Every day there's little wins, but the present moment really is, like, all that matters. Yeah. Like, right now is all that. There's nothing else that matters other than right now. And, like, and I think, that's amazing. You're like, you actually are. Like, and the thing, no. I'm not just saying that. Like, you really are amazing. And I think that's why I wanted you on the podcast. And I think the way you talked about Ellie, and the way you talked about your family, and the way you talked about your mom, I think we could bring in 100 people and sit them in this chair, and they would say the same things about you, and even better things. And I think you would. No, really. Like, I think a lot of people. I think you inspire a lot of people, and I think people really do look up to you, and probably people that you don't even know are looking at you. Yeah. They're looking and they're watching. Yeah. And they're finding inspiration, and especially in your platform. What you have is a blessing, but it's also a curse, and it comes with a price. Yeah. And well,
when you talk about, like, dreams and stuff, that's another massive dream I have, is I just want to be able to help people.
Impact.
Yeah, I want to impact people and, like, help them to be better, and, like, help them through their hard times, you know? And, like, I don't know how much I can do that, but, like, with whatever I can, like, I just want to be able to, like, help people. So
no, for sure.
As vague as that is.
No, that's awesome. No, you're awesome. And
thank you.
And in closing, like, I always ask every guest this. The name of the podcast is Grit and Grace. It's my two favorite words. When you hear grit and grace, like, what do you think of? How would you describe that?
Oh, I love it. Because I feel like it's just such, like a duality. Like, it shows, like, the duality of man. Like, it's like I think of grit as being, like, going towards your goals and never giving up, and, like, getting knocked down and getting back up no matter what. But grace is, like, being kind to yourself, and, like, being kind to others, and, like, just, like, I don't know, like, I'm thinking of, like, the grace of God, like, to forgive, and, like, and so it's, like, you're never going to be perfect, and, like, grit is a choice, but, like, sometimes it's, like, you got to give yourself grace from what you're going through, or, like, what you're doing, and so it's, like, yeah, you can always choose to have grit, but your grit might, like, look a little different, because your grace is, like, what you, like, you just got to be kind to yourself, and then, but never give up, and always have those goals. Because, like, sometimes I feel like I'm not articulating it very well, but, like,
you are,
when I think of, like, grit, it's, like, literally, like, kind of, like, not, like, cutthroat, but, like, just like
Resilient.
go,
It's
resilient, like no matter what,
dirt.
no excuses, in the dirt, whatever, But it's like, no, sometimes you do have excuses, and it's like the grit mentality like is gonna kill you, and that's not a good thing.
And it does, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not a good thing.
Yeah,
like people love to think that working yourself to death is a good thing. It's not.
Yeah.
Like it's really not. Like you need to have grace with yourself and to have enough like knowledge and like maturity to like know when you need to rest, because that's going to give you the best outcome of your hard work. Because if you're just working yourself to death, then it's like you're going to die, like, and you're not going to be giving your best effort that you can, because you need to like, but like also just like be kind. I love kindness. Like it's like you just got to be kind, you know. It's like got to treat yourself as you would treat others. Like it's usually the other way, but it's like the way we talk to ourselves is so important. And it's like, if you vocalized your thoughts, would you ever say that to your son or daughter, or like someone you care the most about? Never. And so it's like, you just have to have that grace with yourself. So that's
Perfect. Yeah, the perfect 2 words. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
this was so fun.
It's been hype. So, and that's a wrap for episode 5. Dope.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Cameras off.